this small first copy of Pokemon from Tamu, just born a few days ago. Before he used to be a human, but after gooning for 75 times a day, his pickle gave up, and as a curse, God reincarnate him in another world as a dragon with small hands so that he can't goon there. One day he risked his pathetic life and managed to save a small girl from a bigger Gooner dragon, then returned the girl to her village. But because he can't talk like a human, he decided to scream for help, which sounded exactly like your best friend's mom last night, so the villager stabbed him instead. To know the full story, we have to start from the beginning of the story, so let's start the story. The story opens with a strange awakening. A young man regains consciousness, but there is nothing around him. No light, no sound, only endless darkness. After a moment, something changes. A tiny glow appears ahead of him. The light slowly spreads, revealing a cracked surface. As his vision adjusts, he realizes the light is coming through a broken shell. Peeking through the opening, he catches a glimpse of tall trees and greenery. Somehow, he is in the middle of a forest. Before he can make sense of it, a transparent screen suddenly appears in front of him. The moment he reads it, his mind goes blank. According to the display, his current form is listed as Dragon Egg. At first, he thinks it must be a joke, but the information looks very real. A calm, godlike voice then speaks, explaining that the screen shows his abilities and stats in numerical form. Furious and confused, he demands answers and asks why he has been turned into an egg. The voice responds coldly, saying that explanations are locked until he gains more levels. That answer only makes him angrier. In frustration, he struggles and shakes his body. Unfortunately, that small movement causes him to fall straight out of the tree he was resting in. He smashes into the ground and begins rolling downhill without any control. His wild tumble finally ends near a river. When he looks into the water, reality hits him hard. His reflection clearly shows a large, smooth dragon egg. Seeing how overwhelmed he is, the divine voice finally offers a proper explanation. In this world, dragon eggs are considered F-rank monsters, the weakest class possible. If his shell breaks completely, he will die instantly. Even the small hole he made to see through is extremely dangerous. The voice continues, saying that while dragon eggs sit at the bottom of the food chain, they hold enormous potential. If they survive long enough, they can grow into powerful dragons. Sadly, survival is the hardest part. Dragon eggs are seen as valuable food by many monsters, and since they don't have limbs, their only way to move is by rolling. He decides to escape and begins rolling away as fast as he can. That plan immediately backfires when he rolls off a short cliff. Once again, he crashes hard, but this time the system announces that his fall resistance has increased from level 1 to level 2. Even so, the fall still drains his health, reminding him that he's far from safe. He continues rolling through the forest, lost in thought. He wonders what kind of creature he will become once he hatches. Will he grow into a massive dragon and spend his life fighting just to stay alive? Suddenly, his thoughts are interrupted. He stops moving when he notices a huge insect nearby. Sensing immediate danger, he hides behind a tree and activates his appraisal skill. The result identifies the creature as an egg devourer, a monster that specializes in hunting eggs. The moment the beast notices him, it charges without hesitation. He rolls away as fast as he can, but deep down, he knows he can't outrun it forever. The chase leads them to the edge of a cliff. As the egg devourer leaps forward, trying to swallow him whole, he makes a desperate move. Using all his strength, he dodges at the last second and slams into the monster. The impact throws the creature off balance, and it plunges down the cliff, dying on impact. This becomes his first ever victory. The system announces that he has gained 12 experience points, pushing him all the way to level 5. His stats are fully refreshed, and more importantly, he unlocks the ability to evolve. Two options appear, baby dragon or small dragon. Not knowing the difference, he requests more information. The system explains that the small dragon is a dwarf-type dragon. While smaller than most dragons, it can still grow larger than a bear. The baby dragon, on the other hand, has weak claws and short fangs, making it poorly suited for combat. Now faced with his first major decision, his new life as a monster truly begins. Although the baby dragon form is extremely dangerous, it holds limitless growth. With enough time, it can branch into countless dragon bloodlines. Because of that rare potential, baby dragons are treated as valuable prey. Monsters hunt them for food, and human adventurers chase them for fame and profit. At first, he chooses the small dragon. Compared to the baby dragon, it feels like the smarter choice. Stronger, safer, and far less likely to get him killed early on. But the moment he makes his decision, the divine presence reacts. The voice gently pulls him close and tells him not to trap himself with fear. It says that his future shouldn't be chosen based on safety alone. The voice admits it has high hopes for him and wants him to aim higher than the easy path. Those words leave him unsettled. He starts thinking back to what the system said earlier. The baby dragon had endless evolution paths, while the small dragon sounded powerful but limited. A troubling thought forms in his mind. What if the small dragon reaches a dead end someday? Even if it's risky, he doesn't want a future filled with regret. With his resolve firm, he changes his choice and selects baby dragon instead. The system accepts his decision instantly. In the next moment, his body begins to reshape. His shell disappears, scales form, and limbs grow. When the transformation ends, he finds himself reborn as a yellow baby dragon. A flood of skills pours in, and all his stats rise far beyond what they were before. However, his HP and MP do not recover afterward, leaving him weak and drained. Before he can even think about moving again, his stomach growls loudly. That's when he notices the corpse of the creature he defeated earlier. Strangely, it doesn't look disgusting anymore. It looks tasty. He realizes that strength requires food, especially protein. The moment that thought crosses his mind, his dragon instincts take over. Without hesitation, he eats the monster. Once finished, he curls up and falls into a deep sleep. When he wakes up the next morning, his energy is fully restored. Feeling refreshed, he walks to the river and looks at his reflection. Staring back at him is a small dragon. That's when it finally sinks in. This isn't a dream. He has truly been reborn into another world. Yet something feels off. No matter how hard he tries, he can't remember his past life. Before he can think further, he senses movement behind him. Several dark-colored worms appear. This time, he doesn't run, he charges. Using his new abilities, he tears through the creatures with ease. As he continues fighting, he unlocks even more skills, making each battle faster and smoother than the last. When the last worm falls, hunger returns, but he refuses to eat them again. The taste was unbearable. Instead, he spots nearby mushrooms and decides to try them. That choice turns out to be a mistake almost immediately. The mushrooms are poisonous, and he pays for it badly. From that moment on, he swears never to eat unknown plants again. Determined to find real food, he moves deeper into the forest. After some searching, he spots a gray wolf. It's bigger than him, but fear no longer controls him. He attacks. Using baby breath and dragon punch, he overwhelms the wolf. The flames lightly roast its body, and the smell surprises him. It smells amazing. Curious, he roasted a bit more before taking a bite. It's delicious. Soon after, he encounters another wolf and defeats it even faster. With that victory, his level shoots up to 20 out of 25. Now he knows. Just 5 more levels stand between him and his next evolution. As he grills his meal, he realizes something unsettling. This life is starting to feel natural. Hunting, fighting, eating. He's slowly becoming a true dragon. Still, despite his growing power, loneliness begins to set in, and it's starting to feel empty. Deep down, he finds himself wishing for a companion. Not long after, he hears voices in the distance. He can't understand the language, but the sound alone brings relief. They're human voices, and for the first time since his rebirth, he doesn't feel completely alone. Sensing movement nearby, he quickly slips behind a tree and peeks out. A small party of adventurers is heading his way. For a moment, hope sparks in his chest. Maybe he can talk to them. Then reality hits him. He's a dragon. If they see him as a monster, they might attack instantly. Still, he convinces himself otherwise. He's small, weak, and doesn't look threatening at all. In fact, he might even look cute. There's a chance they won't hurt him. They might even take him in. Trusting that fragile hope, he steps out from behind the tree and stands in front of them, lowering his posture and trying his best to appear harmless. It's a terrible mistake. The adventurers don't hesitate for even a second. To them, he isn't cute or innocent. He's valuable prey. The party leader immediately swings his sword, cutting across his chest. Before he can react, magic surges through his body, numbing his limbs and stealing his strength. He tries to move. He tries to run. Nothing works. Paralyzed on the ground, he watches as the group approaches him calmly, already deciding how to kill him. In that moment, he understands how naive he was. A dragon and humans were never meant to be friends. After surviving endless danger, fighting monsters, and risking everything to evolve, his life is about to end for no reason at all. As the leader raises his weapon for the final strike, a voice suddenly interrupts him. A female adventurer steps forward and stops him. She argues that killing such a small, harmless dragon is unnecessary. Her tone is firm, and to his surprise, the blade never comes down. Confused and barely conscious, he feels warmth spreading through his body. Looking up, he realizes the woman is using healing magic on him. Quickly activating his appraisal skill, he learns her name, Maria. Even though her mana is nearly depleted, she continues healing him anyway. As she speaks, something changes within him. The system announces that he has gained the Greek language skill, allowing him to slowly understand human speech as it levels up. For the first time since his rebirth, he feels genuine relief. But peace doesn't last. Sudden screams echo from deeper in the forest. Maria's expression changes instantly. She recognizes the voices. They're her teammates. Without hesitation, she turns and runs toward the danger. Panicking, he grabs her arm, shaking his head and desperately trying to warn her that whatever is ahead is far too strong. But she pulls free and keeps running. He can't abandon her, forcing his weakened body to move. He chases after her. When he reaches the battlefield, his blood runs cold. Standing before them is a rock dragon, a C-rank monster. Even worse, it has 197 GP, an absurd amount of durability. Maria is already wounded. When he cries out to her, the monster slowly turns its massive head toward him instead. Its eyes lock onto his small body. Frozen in fear, he realizes the truth. This enemy is far beyond him. As the rock dragon focuses on him, his mind goes blank, and one thought echoes in his head. Is this really where everything ends? The little dragon drops from the sky and barely avoids dying, landing hard and sliding into a pile of bushes. His heart is racing. Hiding there, he starts blaming himself for being so dumb. He really thought teaming up with humans would somehow make him strong enough to win. Suddenly, he spots a girl lying on the ground. She's still breathing, but the stone monster is moving closer to her. The dragon doesn't even think twice. He dashes forward to save her, even though a voice in his head keeps screaming at him to turn around and run. His body freezes for a second, like something powerful is holding him in place, reminding him of the truth. He is way too weak to beat a beast that big, but his heart won't let him leave behind someone who protected him before. The monster's tail swings at him. The little dragon rolls across the ground, barely missing it. He keeps rolling again and again, slipping past attacks like a tiny hero in a game. One lucky move even lets him bump the monster right in the head. When he looks back, he sees the mage is gone. The warrior is still alive, but barely. The dragon knows he can't win this fight. His plan is simple now. Lead the monster away and come back later for the humans. But the stone beast slams the ground so hard that dirt and rocks fly everywhere. The dragon gets hit and tumbles back, shocked that the thing can attack the whole area at once. Running won't be enough. He leaps forward and throws a fiery punch. The monster heals right in front of his eyes, proving this battle is hopeless. That's when he makes a choice. He grabs the girl, Myra, and lifts her onto his shoulder. He glances at the wounded man one last time, knowing he doesn't have the strength to save both. As he runs, he notices Myra is losing blood. Panic sets in. He tries to use a healing spell, but nothing happens. This isn't a story where magic saves the day, so instead he trusts his nose. He sniffs the air, searching for the path the humans came from. He finds the trail and sprints as fast as his small legs can carry him, but trouble follows. A pack of gray wolves jumps out and surrounds him. There's nowhere to run. The dragon stands his ground. He fights with everything he has. For a moment, Myra opens her eyes. Through blurry vision, she sees the tiny dragon standing alone against the wolves, protecting her like a fearless guard. Then the world fades and she passes out again. By the time the wolves are gone, night has fallen. The dragon is shaking, tired, and hurt, but he keeps moving. Step by step, he drags himself forward until warm lights appear in the distance. A village. He cries out for help. But to the humans, it just sounds like a monster roaring. Men rush out with tools and weapons. One of them throws a spear, and it strikes the dragon's leg. Pain shoots through his body, but he refuses to drop Myra. Finally, someone recognizes the girl in his arms. The shouting stops. Seeing he can't make them understand his words, the dragon gently sets Myra on the ground and limps back into the forest. Far away in the dark, he finally lets himself rest. Myra is safe. That's what matters. But his leg burns with pain, and a hard truth sinks in. No matter how kind his heart is, the world will always see him as a dragon. As the sun rises, a soft voice echoes in the little dragon's mind. It calls him a tiny hero. It's not much, but to him, it feels like a small badge of honor for what he did. Back in the village, Myra slowly opens her eyes. Her body feels heavy, like she's been asleep forever. Sitting beside her is Marielle, the elf healer, looking tired but relieved. Marielle explains what happened. Myra was in terrible shape. The wounds were so bad that she had to use powerful white magic, the kind she hadn't touched in years. Myra had been out for 2 whole days. That's how close things were. Still confused, Myra asks the same question again and again. Who brought her back? Marielle sighs and changes the subject. She says this never would have happened if Myra hadn't let Da pull her into his dangerous plans. Hearing his name, Myra asks about the others. Marielle's face darkened. Grants didn't make it. His body was found deep in the forest, crushed, like something huge fell on him. As for Da, they never found him. Most likely the dragon got to him first. Myra's hands start to shake. Tears roll down her face. She blames herself for not stopping Da, for not forcing him to turn back when she still had the chance. Marielle tries to comfort her, saying Da was never the kind of man who listened to anyone. He always rushed into danger, no matter what others said. But Myra doesn't see him that way. To her, Da was brave. He was always the first one to stand between the village and any monster. The kids looked up to him because of that. Then she remembers something important. On the day of the trip, Da had gotten into a loud argument at the tavern. Some man laughed at him, saying he once ran away from a stone dragon and would never beat one. Da didn't take that well. He shouted back that it happened 10 years ago. He swore he was stronger now, strong enough to win. That fight lit a fire in him. Not long after, he dragged Grants and Myra into a plan to hunt the dragon. He even claimed Marielle allowed it. Myra knew that wasn't true. The elf had warned her clearly to stay away if Da ever tried something so reckless. But Da used her feelings against her. He said he and Grants would go alone no matter what, and if they died, it would be on her for not coming. Worried about her friends, Myra gave in. She agreed to go, but only if Da promised they would turn back if things got too dangerous. Marielle shakes her head at the memory. She says Da didn't die because of bad luck. He died because of his pride. Then Myra asks the question that won't leave her mind. Did someone carry me back? Marielle says no. She was found at the edge of the village, barely breathing. A monster was nearby, but a man named Gregory scared it away before it could do anything. Myra feels even more confused. She remembers passing out in the forest. There's no way she walked all that distance by herself. Marielle thinks the shock made her forget. Trauma can erase memories, she says. But when Myra closes her eyes and tries to remember, a strange image flashes in her mind. A tiny dragon standing in the dark, fighting wolves to protect her. She opens her eyes quickly and asks what the monster looked like. Marielle can't answer. By the time she arrived, the creature was already gone. Far away in the forest, the tiny hero wakes up. He stretches and blinks, surprised. His leg feels fine. The deep wound from the spear is completely healed. He realizes something then. Being a dragon has one big advantage. A human body would never recover this fast. The little dragon sits alone in the quiet forest, staring at the sky. His thoughts keep drifting back to Myra. Is she safe? Is she warm? Did she wake up yet? He knows the truth. He survived that fight by luck, not strength. Even after growing stronger, the stone monster almost crushed him. If he had been just a little more powerful, things could have ended very differently. That idea burns inside him. I need to get stronger. So he comes up with a smart plan. Instead of fighting monsters one by one, he tricks them into coming to him. He catches a shadow worm and ties it up in a tree, forcing it to cry out for help. When the other worms rush in, they all appear in the same spot. A perfect trap. The dragon doesn't waste a second. He jumps in, breathes fire, and clears them out. Again and again. When the smoke fades, he feels a rush inside him. He's now strong enough to change into something new. A strange voice lists his choices, like a menu floating in the air. Mini dragon, mini angel dragon, child dragon, marble child dragon, plague young dragon. The last one makes him shiver. It sounds like trouble. Confused, he asks the voice what all these names even mean. Why is mini different from child? And what's the difference between baby and little? The voice explains in simple terms. A little dragon grows fast, but it will never grow bigger or stronger than it is now. It's the short road, quick power, but low limits. A baby dragon starts weak, but can become something truly great over time. That's the long road. A child dragon is just a better version of a baby dragon. Stronger body, better growth. The mini path has very few future options, but if it does grow, it always grows into something good. When he asks about the young type, the voice goes quiet. That only makes it feel even more scary, so he asks for details one by one. First, the mini dragon. Small, slow to grow, and not many future paths. The dragon quickly shakes his head. That one's out. Next, the mini angel dragon, a helper dragon that lives to heal and support others. It's great with white magic, but terrible in a fight. He hesitates. Healing sounds nice. He remembers how badly he wished he could save Myro with magic. Still, being weak in battle doesn't feel right. Then comes the child dragon, the natural step forward, stronger muscles, tougher body, and better fighting power. The voice even says it matches his current path well. That one feels safe, reliable. After that, the marble child dragon, a rare kind with strange patterns on its skin and much stronger magic than most dragons. The idea of being special makes his eyes light up. Strong magic could be useful someday. Finally, the plague young dragon. The voice describes it as the start of a disaster dragon, a creature that spreads ruin wherever it goes. They don't live long, but they are incredibly smart. The dragon covers his ears. He doesn't want to hear this. But one last detail slips through. This dragon can turn into a human. His eyes go wide. A human form means walking into villages, talking to people, living without being chased or stabbed with spears, living a normal life. Now his heart feels heavy, power, or peace, safety, or acceptance. The little dragon sits there, stuck between two futures, knowing whatever he chooses will change everything. Subscribe if you don't want me to sneak into your bedroom tonight.